Could the Vikings sneakily be looking at adding a beautiful number one running back? All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and a position we really haven't talked about much is running back. So could the Vikings actually be looking at spending some money on a new running back this year?
Spending some money, using a high draft pick. Can they upgrade that position? Will they upgrade that position? If you want to upgrade your position in life, become a subscriber to the channel, like and comment as well. And join us tonight, 7 bells for Horned Up, the second to last one in January.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of talkers there. Mock draft. We'll be having lots of fun on that. But let's talk running back. And I'm not talking like some middle. I'm talking like actually spending a lot of money, or like you said, an early draft pick. But let's start with the draft just quick. I mean, I haven't really dove into the running backs much. It appears that there's like 4 or 5 in the top 100 and not like a first round guy. I mean, it looks like they're second and third round guys.
Yeah, so I mean, there's the Florida State guy, Ohio State, Michigan. Those are the kind of top backs. And yeah, I mean, it's going to probably be a second rounder. To me, I got to be honest. If I trade down in round 1, I have an extra second round pick, and Blake Corum staring me in the face, I often tend to pull the trigger. But to actually say, the Vikings going to add a running back, you got to look at the whole position and how that is used on this team. I think it's like there's layers to this. It's not just, do we need a better back?
Well, there is, and I have a little bit. I know the first argument is going to be you don't need a running back to win the Super Bowl. You don't need a top running back. You don't need to pay a top running back. I got the 4 teams laid out that are still out there and what they're paying their running back. So we'll look at that quick. But, I mean, look at the Vikings running back room right now. We got Madison, who laid a turd this year, and we have Ty Chandler that I think was just fine. I mean, 4.5 yards a carry, didn't get much. I mean, he only had one game over 75 yards. It was the Bengals game where he tore it up. So to me, there's nothing that just says, all right, let's roll with Ty Chandler next year, because I think that's stupid.
Well, to me, the other thing that says it's not always just a back issue. It's not just a player issue. I think this is the head coach who calls the plays. Failure to call running plays consistently and often, even when it is working, he doesn't stick with it. That's a huge issue. The other thing is too, shit, what's my other point? Hang on, let me think about that one.
Well, failure. You mentioned failure to launch with Matthew McConaughey. You know what? It ain't bad. It's not bad.
Another point, it's just the fact that, like, the design of these run plays. I think we need a new running game coordinator. I don't like the way these plays are designed. It's a lot of these delayed handoffs where they're not like letting the back hit the line with a full head of steam. It's all these kind of like weights and then kind of bust outside. Fucking just run hard.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of the waiting and looking for a hole is on the running back too. But let's just dive into this more. Right now, the Vikings have Madison, 3rd round pick, and Wangu. Those are our 2 highest paid running backs. 3.5 hit. Next year, Madison goes up significantly, so that will go higher. But I mean, those are our 2 highest paid running backs right now.
Yeah, and it's like, can you even really call Kenny a running back? He only gets a carry if someone else is injured.
No,
he's really just a kick returner.
He is listed as a running back, and he's the second highest paid running back. But let's dive into the nuts and bolts of this. Like, let's look at the Niners. I mean, that murders an argument right there as far as, I mean, they're paying him almost $15 million a year.
Yeah, it's insane. And he's worth it. He's worth every damn penny. You talk about MVP, everybody lists all the quarterbacks. It should be Christian McCaffrey at the top of that conversation. That's the impact he has on that team. So damn good as a receiver, as a running back. Christian McCaffrey worth every single dollar there.
Real quick, let's just get through these. David Montgomery, and again, you're going to see a theme to this. People spend early draft picks on their running backs that are in the mix for the Super Bowl right now. Montgomery getting paid a ton. Gibbs, first rounder last year, almost $11 million in those 2 guys. You go to the Ravens, J.K. Dobbins has not panned out. Gus Edwards, an undrafted free agent, 4.6. And then you have the Chiefs.
Pacheco.
Yeah, I mean, him and Clyde's another first round pick, $4.4 million. And you look at the Vikings, 3.5. So my point of putting that up there is the fact that we're really not spending much money on a running back right now, and our running game sucked. So I would actually be fine if we spent some money on a running back.
Yeah, and I just don't know the way that this team is right now, if a player is going to make that much of a difference. I think the scheme is shit. I think the play caller is shit when it comes to running back. That needs to change. And then, if you change that and you still can't run the ball, then I'm going to look at, upgrading the player. That being said, I don't know. I mean, they might do it. I don't know. I just don't know with the current state of the running game if it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you would think they're smart enough to learn that a big reason why this team sucked ass was they never got the running game going, and they never gave it a chance to get it going. You'd think somebody is talking to Kevin O'Connell like, look, man, I mean, look at these are the top running backs that are going to be available. I mean, free agency wise, Austin Eckler, what's that dude going to make? Like $8 million? Barkley, Pollard, those are the big ones. So there are some big names out there.
But it was an issue last year, and that's why I keep going back to, like, you bring in Josh Oliver, you re-sign CJ Ham, you re-sign Alexander Madison. Like, there was this movement to try to improve the running game, and it still failed. So that's where I'm having a hard time, like, spending money on running back right now.
Yeah, but I mean, Madison early in the year looked so bad. They're like, Jesus, what's the point of running the ball? Yeah. I mean, my assumption is if they were to go out and sign one of these guys, that it's going to change. Like, I don't see them signing Saquon Barkley. I don't think anybody sees them signing him in anyways, and then running it 5 times a game. I mean, like, if you had a Josh Jacobs, it doesn't matter what you got going on. He's going to get a ton of yards.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can get a 10 yards on 8 carries, because that's probably what he'll see averaging on the Vikings. Other guy I think you got to remember that was there, Cam Akers. Like, he's not a top running back, but he's definitely a guy the Vikings could look to bring back. When he was there, he looked better than Alexander Madison. He could block, he could catch, he ran hard, so maybe that's an option. The Vikings kind of settled for a bottom.
Well, yeah, and I think the fact that he did better than him just kind of solidifies the fact that it might be a running back issue. I mean, Cam Akers, he probably won't even play again. I mean, I don't see them bringing him back. But it just proves the point where we need a different running back.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. Honestly, I think it's the player, it's the coaching, it's who's calling the calls, and it's the design of the plays. So all that needs to change, all that needs to improve. So to answer the question, are they going to add one?
Add what?
Top running back. Think they'll do it?
Oh, I thought you were going to add a question. I think I mean, looking at this, like I said, that cap hit goes up next year with Madison making like $4 million. It's still not crazy. So, like, when you look at these other guys with the Gibbs, Montgomery, McCaffrey, I know these are different top-end backs, but you got some money to spend. Would I be upset if they went out and signed a running back for $5 million? No. I hope they do. I don't want to use a draft pick. We got 2 draft picks in the top 100 picks. We're not using it on running back.
Unless you trade down and you pick one up. You pick up a second.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, with the Pacheco, I mean, 7th round, I mean, they struck gold. You don't find those guys every year. Gus Edwards, undrafted free agent that they have re-signed since. So, I mean, you're looking for a needle in a pile of pubes if you're.
I thought we found one last year with Dwayne McBride.
Yeah, you love Trey McBride more than anything. You want him to add a running back. I don't want him to spend more than $5 million. And I don't want them to use a draft pick.
Yeah, and I would also feel better if they had, like, just a new run game coordinator. I mean, just
I don't even know if that's. I don't know if that's.
There's a passing game coordinator. There's got to be a running game coordinator.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a run game coordinator. I think even
then they need to hire one. Something's got to change. I need to see 2 changes: a player upgrade and something in the play calling, the schematics of the running game, because I think that's a huge issue too.
Well, to wrap it up, I just don't want them to go into next year as thinking Ty Chandler's the number 1. Like, he needs some comp. If he gets it, great, and he rips it up, fantastic. They can't go in with Madison and Chandler. I mean, Madison will probably be here just based off of his big old dead cap if they cut him.
Yep.
But bring somebody in, and not a late round pick.
Yeah. So, I mean, not even a 4th round pick? You don't like that?
No, I don't. I want defense. A guy like Devin Singletary, DeAndre Swift. I mean, even Dante Foreman's only 27 years old, and he was ripping shit up with the Bears. Bring somebody in like that. Get those tough yards.
All right, let's go in the comments. Will the Vikings add a running back? Do you want them to? And who could it be? Remember, join us 7 o'clock tonight for Horned Up. And remember this, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, when he retired from wrestling, you know what he became?
Financial advisor.
A minister.
I